Okay, so now that this is on here and mostly centered on here, what I do is I take this trimming tool, a Kemper tool R4. I love this little sharp point here. And so then I come over here to the side where I have my mark. This is how, let's see here. This is how thick the bottom is, right there to my thumbnail. And so I'm gonna decide how thick I actually want that bottom to be. And I'm gonna scoop my fingernail in a little bit, and this is gonna be how much we actually trim off. And I go right here to this center mark, and I actually go down to that depth, right there. And then I do the exact same thing on the next mark. So we're gonna just measure that. It's about the same. So then we're gonna put that same amount right there. And we're gonna come out here to this second mark, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. And we go straight down and just make that line for how much we wanna trim away. And then the last mark, we're gonna go and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna take that and then we're just gonna cut it in half, right? So we want about the same amount off of out here. And actually you can go in increments all the way until you get out here to this edge, so that you make sure that you're trimming the exact same amount of clay from the center to the outside edge here. And you would do this out as far as you want to trim away. And then I just start right here, and I just start taking away that clay. Because now we know that we just go down to that depth of those rings. And that makes it so much easier. There's no guesswork. There's no trying to figure out how thick it is, because we know, because we measured. Okay, so we just do this all the way from the center all the way out to the edge. And I like to work in small increments because that way there's less margin for error. And once I get most of this here, then I'll start working on the outside edge. And I like to switch between two different tools, the bigger tool and the small Kemper tool. So if you have any questions, just let me know. But that's the process. Measuring when you're throwing, how thick you want it to be, keeping it that thickness all the way across. And then the same thing when you're trimming. You just make those marks so that you don't have to measure again, so that you know for sure how thick the bottom is all the way across.